Hey, it's Alicia. Today I'm going to do a critique of my friend Beth Rogers' painting. So first, there's a lot of things I love about this painting. It's like the rocks are really beautiful. The layout is really nice. I was actually discussing it with somebody earlier, and they pointed out what a nice composition it is because it's a bit of a diamond. So your eye really moves around the painting very nicely. I love like these little bits right here in the jacket. I think the jacket has just become so lovely, and I love even the strings, like the little detail and the hood over the back, like right here. I think that is a really nice detail. Let's see. I also love the colors you used here. How you added some yellow to the reflective light. I think that looks really nice. In this little spot here on the foot. For the arms, I would say this still looks like it maybe needs to come in just a little bit. And this part right here needs to have a bit of a darker value. Not a whole lot, especially down in the light part. And I think it would just help turn that arm over a little bit more. I also really love the orange, the reflective orange that you added on her tank top. That was a fantastic idea. One thing that bothers me a little bit are the angles that some of these white spots come out at. They all seem to be going at the same angle, so it looks a little more contrived than natural for water. But I do love the extra little splashes that you added in areas. It really makes it looks like the water is splashing. And I do like that you did add extra water in the background to give a sense of movement and energy, especially when we discuss what the painting means to you and what I get from it. I think it really adds to the overall look, except those few lines. And even this one, I think it wouldn't, or in these areas, it wouldn't hurt anything to make them calmer, like the water a little calmer, or add in something like that instead of just the swipes that all go at the same angle. This confuses me. I didn't notice it until the last time I looked at the painting, but I'm assuming it's a rock, but it also looks like it could be a log sticking straight up, or not straight up, but at this angle out of the water. And so I'm not quite sure what it is, and it confuses me. But like this right here, these rocks are absolutely stunning. They're so beautiful, and I could look at them all day. And also this rock, this orange rock down at the bottom right, I love how it brings the orange down from her jacket into the lower part of the painting. This here is really lovely as well. I love the way you do rocks. I've told you over and over again that your rocks are gorgeous. Even this part right here is fantastic. I mean, every single one of the rocks, there's something about it, or there's a certain part on almost each one that I think is just really lovely and beautiful and that I could stare at. So we've discussed the background rocks quite a bit and whether you should make them more blurry or not. I think I really like them the way they are now. I know we talked about making them a little more blurry, but I would say if you did that, just maybe focus on. Oh, no, wait, no, because I really like that one. Like this area, that's really nice. And oh, so is that one. Oh, your rocks are so good. Oh, and I love that one too. And so I would say maybe like in some of, like that highlight, but some of these areas, maybe soften them up just a little. I mean, I love that rock, so maybe not that one. Maybe soften them up a little bit, like to kind of go with the grass up here in a more impressionistic way. I love what you did with the grass in the back. It's really nice. And I think, but if you soften up some of the rocks a little bit, it'll add more distance to your painting. And as far as the face goes, because I know we've talked about that a lot, I love the hair. I think you did an excellent job on the hair and doing the impression of the hair rather than every individual strand that a lot of people seem to do. This shadow here needs to be, I think it's this shadow here, and if it is, it needs to be much lighter. I think on the tip of her nose, there's a bit of an orange reflective light, less so on that side, but you could add it a little more there. The tip of her nostril is a little large on your painting, like that highlight area. So watch that shape. So the shadow, I think, of her nasolabial fold on that side is a little darker. Her left eyebrow seems to come up a little higher, and then there's a plane change. I think you have her eye actually, the eyelid itself might be tilted up a little bit. It does tilt up after, but I think the eyelid itself. Okay, and she doesn't have the fold of her eyelid, which at this angle, and especially with the lighting, it's very hard to see. But I would say definitely look at the shape of this eye and double check it. And push this plane change back a little bit to make her head look like it's rounding over. Because yeah, this seems like it's part of, like, right here, her eyelid, and that should be, oh, it's really close. But I think there's just that little extra right there that will come off. And I think her jawline might come up a little higher. Obviously, her face is tilted at a slightly different angle, but oh, and you know what else it could be? The lower lid here, her eye, the sphere of her eyeball is right here. So the lid would follow that, and you have it going up a little too soon. It needs to come out and then up, like down, and then up at the end. Because if you look in the mirror and you move your eyes from side to side, you'll see that the your lower lid, where the bulge happens, kind of, it shifts, and so I think that's not quite in the right spot. And I also think the orange might come up just a little too high. So I would put this more in shadow right up here, and that'll help with the illusion of fullness in that cheek compared to that cheek. And this other eye, I would say the upper lid needs to change slightly, the shape of it. And be careful because she also has that fold, but it's very difficult to see. This one might even come up a little more of an angle at the outside. And I would even add a little more orange to this eyelid. And also this eye needs to move up just a little bit. You could add a little orange right there to warm up that shadow a little. This side needs to be a little more in shadow, but it's a very warm shadow. And her lip can come out a little further that way. Because if you see that, and then you see that. Yeah, I think her nose could be a little wider. I would say maybe bring it out just a little further on that side. I really love the blue and the orange here, and the blue that you added in the shadow there. I think that looks fantastic. I also love that area. It's really nice. This has a bit of orange reflective light, and like this hole on the front of her that is a little bit lighter, but that's fairly nitpicky. And this should be darker, as well as on this side. And even the nasolabial fold could be a little bit darker. Not a whole lot, but a little bit, just to help it pop a little bit more. And then with her collarbone, so that sticking out a little too much on that side. And I would say you can add a little bit darker blue here to help that kind of pop. Just a little, just to suggest, because it doesn't stand out very much in the reference photo, so just suggest that the other collarbone is there. You can soften this up a little bit, and I would even make this highlight brighter, as well as this. And be careful with this shadow. You want to bring the top part out much further than it is. And then you could also, there's a bit of a highlight here, there's some highlights here, and a little bit right here. Some of that highlight might need to be changed a little bit. Kind of make it a smidge lighter. But again, that's kind of nitpicky. Eyebrows almost go straight. This could be darkened up somewhat. The face, the eyes, I would make the biggest change to. So yeah, when I look at this picture overall, I get a sense of that being right between a kid and an adult and having to leave childhood behind. And I like this area right here where the water's smooth and it kind of gives your eye a place to rest. And the water back here where it's much busier, I mean, I think that adds to the overall feeling of, in childhood, everyone else takes care of things for you most of the time, and you have parents to take care of all the problems, but then the further back you go, or the more into adulthood you go, the more turbulent things could become. You have to navigate things on your own, and sometimes it can be overwhelming. So I think, and I love that the softness of the jacket, her hoodie, it makes me think of like a really well-loved baby blanket. Like, it just looks so soft here, and to me it adds to the sense of still being a kid. Like, you still want that little bit of a security blanket, and then just trying to find your next step. Like, where are you going next, and thinking about it and having that solitude. And overall, I think it's a very successful piece, and I can't wait to see what you do next. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button below and remember to subscribe. Have a nice day.